This slide shows the various ways that ideas can be generated. In the following slides, we'll go over them in detail.
Using your own internal research and development has high product development costs, and they're often the source of breakthrough product. If they find a product that actually becomes pretty successful, then the company takes all of the earnings. Some companies will join together in R&D consortia to develop new products and ideas, and this is great for lowering costs and risks. Another not so great or ethically correct way to create a new product, but it's done all the time in business, is reverse engineering. So they'll basically buy a product and tear it apart, break it apart, and to put it back together to learn how it works. However, it does take a while to kind of create a product from reverse engineering, so you do have like a good year for copycats to appear when you launch a new product. And that gives you a whole year ahead of the competition, a whole year of profits, of making yourself known in the market, and establishing market share. There are a few faster ways or more profitable ways to grow than through licensing. And licensing refers to a business arrangement in which one company gives another company permission to manufacture its product for a specified payment. So some companies tend to license patents, trademarks, copyrights, designs, and other intellectual property to others, and in return they get a small percentage of the sales, but they can add up quickly. Of course, you get a smaller piece of the pie because you're just giving your idea or your brand name. Calvin Klein, for instance, gives away their brand name for licensing, and they only get about 10% of the sales. In the product development stage, first, a company would attempt to do a prototype. And a prototype is the first physical form or service description of a new product. It's still in its rough or tentative form, and it has the same properties as a new product, but is produced through different manufacturing processes, sometimes even individually crafted. Prototype is like the rough first draft of a paper. So it's tested and it's seen how it can be improved. Alpha testing that is done with the company's own employees. Then after that, it goes into beta testing where they actually test the prototype with consumers and to see how they think or feel about the product. So sometimes products are tested in pre-market tests. That can be conducted or outsourced to companies like AC Nielsen, who is used to conducting these tests. Sometimes these tests can reveal a new product to competitors, so in some cases it might be inappropriate to expose some new products this way. But in pre-market tests, customers are exposed, they're surveyed, firm makes its decision. And then a test marketing is when it's basically a mini product launch. They go to a small to medium-sized city that is kind of representative of the population of their intended target market, and they do a whole mini product launch. This is, of course, more expensive than doing a pre-market test, and then they can estimate the demand of the market on a larger scale. And while we talked a lot about innovating new products aren't the only thing that a company can innovate. In fact, they can innovate on their actual processes of how they do things, or they can innovate on their brand. They can innovate on solutions or on customer experience, on the supply chain, or even networking. And all of these things are very beneficial to companies. Yet, a company can't really focus on innovating on all their capabilities, because doing this, first of all, it takes a lot of resources that most companies don't really have in order to innovate on all areas. But also, consumers think of companies for very specific things. So innovating on all areas would kind of dilute the essence of the brand and what they're known for, right? So companies tend to pick 2 or 3 great areas to innovate on.